Good morning, Graptocrane. Today we're doing a service on an i30. Not sure of the year actually. It's a late one, but anyway, just doing a bit of a service. So oil changes, filter, and on this one I found a couple of the tyres were a bit dodgy, so they're off at the tyre shop getting replaced right now. So here we go. Brake and clutch fluid, oil filler, battery, air filter, just 3 clips, lift it up, take the filter out, replace the filter. Spark plugs are in here, haven't done them yet, not sure I need to do them. Wash fluid, coolant, and that's about it for up here. Cabin air filter, so that's up there, in there, there's these 2 little clips, one on either side, so you just squeeze those 2 together, squeeze these 2 together, and pull out, and then behind that's the filter with an airflow direction on it. So you can pull that out, push the filter back in, and just put that panel back in again, just push it in. And that's that done. And there's 2 twisty things that go in the holes here. So when you've done the filter, you put that in and you turn that, and that locks it back into position into this slot here. This slot here. Very straightforward, easy to do. So here we're looking at the brake pads. So if you can see in there, you can see there's plenty of life left in the pads, so they don't need to be replaced on this occasion. So it's a quick visual inspection. Same on the back, and the back is the same on this particular car. So yeah, you can have just a bit of a general look around, look for any leaking shock absorbers, any other stuff going on, split gaiters, anything else like that. Nothing else going on there. Alright, now we'll move underneath. Decided to stay up top for a couple of seconds. So up here, spark plugs. So the spark plugs are relatively straightforward. This one here is a bit tight, so I used a 10mm spanner socket to get on here. I had to flick up this cover on the fuel line so that it would come out, because this, so it does come out without having to take all this apart. So you just undo this, flick up this little grey tab here, flick that out, same as these are like that. So you'll see they're being moved out, and then press the little black tab in and they come off easily. And then you need a socket similar to this. So that, yeah, that's all you need, and a long extension and a ratchet, and you can get them out. So that's relatively straightforward. These 3 are easy. This one's a little bit of a challenge, but apart from that, all good. So here we are. This is the hardest job to do on the i30 that I found, and that's the in-tank fuel filter. So to remove the seat on this particular model, there are 2 bolts. There's one that you can see underneath here, just to the left of that, so this one here. And to do that, the easiest way to get that is to tilt the seat forward to give you better access. And then the same on the other side. Removing this cover is a little bit primitive, to say the least, because it's just stuck on, so you have to pry it off, and this doesn't look like it has been changed since the car was built. So these 2 clips here, you press the 2 buttons on the side, 2 buttons on the side, and then undo all these 8mm bolts all around the outside, lift it out, and then we'll reconvene after I've done that little exercise. So I did the fuel filter, and what a job that was. The cover that goes over the top, which is this here, is just a pry it off job. Right, this is just pry it off. There's no screws holding it down, just like a mastic type stuff. So if you pry that off, you lift the fuel pump out, you spill fuel everywhere, which then takes you quite a while to clean up, and then you get a filter like this in the middle, which has the fuel pump in the middle of this. And if you're unlucky enough, you get a fuel filter that looks like this. So you'll see a fundamental difference is that this bit is missing off this one. Everything else is the same. but this bit's missing and it won't work, so you have to get the right one. Don't know whether that's an early one, different, well, I don't know what the gizmo on the top here does, but if it's missing it doesn't work, and you have to go with the right one. And for me, this was 196 bucks, 196 Australian dollars, right? So it's not a cheap filter. And looking at it and the way that it was in the hole and the way it was all secured, I would say that it hasn't been changed since the car was new, and I can understand why, because it was yeah, a right old job to do it. I would take some pictures of it as you take it apart, just so you make sure you get everything in the right place. When you get the expensive one to replace it, which I did at the end, right, comes with all new O-rings and everything else. This one, which was a cheaper version, it was the wrong one, didn't have any O-rings. So there, just the lessons learned. All right, so that's a very brief overview of a service on an i30. The hardest job by a long way was the fuel filter, oil filter, everything else, coolant, brake fluid, all that sort of checks, all really very easy. On this occasion, I had 2 tyres that were a bit dodge, so I've had to get them replaced. And apart from that, it was, yeah, straightforward. Fuel filter, yeah, if it's been changed or you've got evidence that it's been changed in a recent past, don't do it, because that'll take the rest of your afternoon to figure it out. And I would strongly suggest taking pictures as you strip it to make sure you get everything back in the right place. There's a lot of little clippy things. There's a circlip that has to come undone to allow the top to come off. And yeah, and you smell of petrol. Beautiful. All right, so that's it for now. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for comments. I should be back into MG land. I said this last week, but I should be back in there this weekend. And yeah, start working on the more simplified stuff. All right then, bye for now. Good morning, back again. I was given a bit of extra time, so I decided to change the transmission oil. So it's relatively straightforward on this car. So you take the battery box out, which is 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3. You lift the battery box out, you take this plug out down here, which I will show you when I've got my torch. So that little plug there, plug there, this one here, and it undoes a 1/4 of a turn. It's not a thread, right? This is on a late one, so I think this is a 17 to 21 model, so it's just a little turn. I sprayed a bit of degreaser on there because I spilt a drop. Now I took 4 litres out, so I put 4.5 back, which seems to be the regular amount for this vehicle. So there's a 24mm plug underneath on the bottom of the gearbox. Got to take all the undercover plate, which you can see down there. Got to take all that off. A lot of push studs and about 6 10mm bolts. Once you've done that, all good. Quick fill, long tundish or funnel, and then just pour in 4.5 litres of the correct ATF and your job is done. All right, I think that's all for this service. So thank you very much indeed, subscribing, looking at my videos, etc, etc. And I'll be in touch back to MG land. I've got another i30 to do, but I think I'll be into MG land first. All right, bye for now.